Hey y'all.
Hey,
Hey
girl.
girl.
I missed you guys.
I
Like
know.
it's been a minute. I missed y'all. We done did this through a whole spring and summer. How y'all doing? What's up? What's new?
Life,
Okay.
honestly.
All right.
Life.
Definitely lifing. I feel like we've all grown. Frizz Fest has happened. People have
Woo-woo.
moved. People in class. I done started a new job. I want us to go around and give our highlights, maybe a little update on what's going on with us, and hop into the episode. Who wants to go first?
All right. Do we want to tell the people hi? Welcome back. It's Blended POV.
Do it, Leslie. You do that. You do it well. Go for it.
Welcome back to Blended POV. Happy to be back. It's been a minute. Make sure you follow us on everything, all the socials at Blended POV. Okay. Take it away.
Okay, I'll start off with my highlight. My highlight actually was today. I took a long walk after work. And y'all know how y'all see a male and like when you run an exercise and you kind of like distract yourself by looking at your phone because it's kind of awkward when you walk past them. So I did that. It was like this black guy with like dreads, no shirt on, boxer short. And I was like, oh my God, let me hurry up and open my phone up or whatever. And so I walked past him. And then on the second lap, y'all, he was sitting in the middle of the grass doing yoga. And it just made me so happy. I was just like, wow, there are black men taking care of themselves. It just made me smile. You know, you can't judge a book by its cover.
That is so sexy.
Yeah.
I love it.
That is good. That's good, but it is still good that you're aware of your surroundings.
Hell yeah, bitch. I carry a butcher knife from my kitchen in my stroller when I walk in my baby.
Oh, what kind of knife?
Stroller. A
I
butcher.
be ready to stab somebody and they dog. Don't play with me.
Okay, Jason.
Literally.
I'm weak. Well, I'll go. It's been a while. It's been some months actually. A whole summer has gone by. I enjoyed my summer. I took trips. I laid back. I kicked it, got shit done. And I am in school and having a balancing act of things in my life, which I am grateful for. But to speed it up, my highlight would be that I got recognition in class today for being really good at marketing. I was on them questions. She was like, wow, I usually have to show the video to get the right answer. And then they still don't even give it all the time. So I was like, yay. But
Okay, turn up.
so feeling good and groovy, and that's my update.
That's
Yay.
awesome. You're never too old to learn and to grow and keeping that mind young. I love it. I love that you in school.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
awesome.
You can definitely teach old dogs new tricks.
Okay.
What's your favorite class in school?
Business. My business class is my favorite. My horticulture class is challenging. I enjoy it, but it takes a little extra strength. But business by far, it's super relatable, so I enjoy it.
I think it's horticulture. Did I say it right?
You did.
What is that?
You said, what is it? Oh, it's the study of plants and trees
Oh.
and flowers and whatnot. And the first class is surrounded around the science and the base of it. So we're talking about cells and tissues and protons, electrons, and all that shit. And then and we're also we're growing flowers and plants and everything. We also have some poinsettias growing right now. So once they sprout and change colors, I'll be sure to bring one on POV.
I love
Awesome.
it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go.
Okay.
This summer has definitely been a low light, but I feel like now it's like a highlight because I feel like I've come out a different Keisha. So I'd say my highlight for me today is feeling more like myself as each day goes on and on. And that's my highlight.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
I'll go next. So this summer has been life. There's ups and downs, but I had coming off an extreme high, just just proud of myself and my team, and just being able to do what I love to do, and like see something like grow from an idea to like this super amazing thing is awesome. So I'm in a good place right now. I put in a lot of time, energy, and work. And then so I just feel like now I'm in my like rest and reward season. I've been,
Yes.
trips planned. I've been spending money on myself, shopping
Hey.
too much. So I'm just like, I'm in a good, I'm in a space of just like, I'm in a me season. It's me season, period.
Period.
Amen. Yes.
So that's where I'm at. So yes, yeah, I don't. So that's the highlight. I just realized I need like a season to like dedicate it to myself and the things that I want and focus on that. So yeah.
What better season than your birthday season? So
Libra
that's
gang.
wonderful. All right, so that leads us to our theme. So yeah, we doing things a little bit different this season. We're gonna have a theme of the month, and the theme for this month is self-love. Okay, that's the way to go because we know when it get darker outside, fall, winter, sometimes it can make you a little sad. So I feel like self-love is an uplifting topic. All right.
All right, so I have a great question. Since we are on the self-love journey, my question for y'all is, what does self-love mean to you?
Hmm,
Oh.
that's a good question.
I'll go. Self-love means to me to learn how to love yourself on the inside and the outside, learning to appreciate all the attributes that are yours, no matter good, bad, just like you love that nigga and all his bad stuff, you love yourself the same way. I believe it's being mindful and in tune with you and, what you're made of, and just listening to yourself and hyping yourself up and being able to consult with yourself to get yourself through those hard times, good times, just to just love yourself authentically. That's what it means to me.
Now, when you said that, you clicked the switch on for me. Okay, you triggered my self love because when you said
Mm.
love yourself like you love these men, you know what I'm saying? Because we do love them, flaws and all. Like, think about all the flaws the men in y'all
Mhm.
life have, and you still love them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that.
Yeah.
That was good. I agree with that. Like, I feel like that's what self love means. Like, love yourself like you love everybody else.
Mhm.
I feel like self-love means to me, just doing things that make me feel good. Like today, like I said, I went on a long walk. Like I love being outside. Like nature just makes me feel good. Sunlight, grass, flowers, all that shit just makes me feel good. So like just doing things that empower me opposed to like other things that I'm noticing. Like obviously I love to eat. Eating a lot of bad foods make me feel down. That's something I'm
Mhm.
realizing. Okay.
Mhm.
So
But
like
like there's this whole thing like food like really like aids in how you feel. Like there's like certain foods called like high vibrational foods. And then obviously like the junk, like that is a direct like correlation to like your mood. So that's the
that's
thing.
fact. And I feel like in our 30s we realize that. And that's something that like obviously I battle with food shit. Like that is my biggest battle. Like I'm always, weight, all that shit is like my issue. So like my thing, what I've been practicing this summer is just trying to like incorporate things that I love, like cookies and shit, but also being like, also loving a salad and understanding that I can do all those things. I can still go on a walk even if I eat something that isn't the healthiest. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you eating bad shit, it just make you want to sit around the house. You know what I mean? And I don't have to
Mhm.
do that. Like I can have a healthy balance and still do things that empower me, like go on a walk, go to the zoo. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Love that.
Um, I'll go. So to me, like self-love means a lot of the time showing yourself grace and realizing that this, like I said earlier, like this is life. It's always gonna be ups and downs all the time. And that means pertains to you as well. You're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna make the wrong decisions, you're gonna make the right decisions. going to not like treat somebody in the best way or have an attitude, and it's okay. Like, you just like everybody else, we all human, and we all, like, you especially deserve the forgiveness of yourself. So I think just like showing yourself grace, but I also think too, a lot of it is just like continuing to like what I mean. That's why I like love so much that you going to school, Tracy, because to me, self-love is a lot of like pouring into yourself and growing and becoming, always continuously aiming to be like the best version of yourself, and like not remaining stagnant. Like,
Mhm.
things constantly change. Self accountability, like knowing who you are and when you have certain things right and when you got it wrong, and like just like dedicating like time to understand um yourself and how you can be an overall better person. And also like India, like you mentioned, doing things that make you happy. Like, my thing is like even like traveling, like you are learning, like experiencing new things, new people. Like, there's so much like in this big world that we can learn from, like just
Mhm.
from literally just being surrounded by it. So I think, to me, that's like what self-love is, to like continue like reading, like continue to grow in your mind, your heart, spirituality, all that.
To nurture yourself. Yes.
Yes, that's good.
Horticulture yourself.
I'm so weak.
T-shirt.
That would be a good one. I actually don't know what self-love means to me yet. Like, I think I'm still trying to figure that out. I think the word that comes to mind to me is like peace, like having peace like within yourself, like
Mhm.
being okay with who you are. I think that's like what self-love would mean to me right now, because like God made us all different for a reason. So like really like loving like who you are and like being okay with waking up every day and being you. So I say that's what I'm thinking self-love is, but I feel like I'm still trying to decide what like self-love really means to me. So
I got a good follow-up question to that, because one of my questions was like, at what time or what place in your life did you realize that what self-love was, or like when you like really like needed it, and to like cater more to showing yourself love, and like that self-love needed to play a bigger role in your life? Like, what was there a specific time? I know it is kind of like it's an old term, but it is newer. Like, now self-love, like that's a huge thing. So like, I can't remember before the time that clicked for me, like what self-love was and that I needed it. I can't remember like hearing that word as much before or anything like that. So was there a specific like moment in time where it kind of like clicked for you, like, damn, like I'm really lacking like self-love and I need to practice it more?
I think really for me, and I hate that I keep on bringing up therapy, but I will say like therapy, like I feel like I'm like really starting to like learn and understand myself, and like self-love is like more than just self-love. Like, there's so much other things that go into self-love, like self-awareness, self-care, self-esteem, like self-exploration. So I feel like I've been learning like a lot about me and like my triggers and like why I'm upset, or like I don't know, just really like diving into like what makes Keisha. So I think,
I would just go and ask, because like self-love is not just like taking baths and getting a massage. Like, it's so much deeper and harder than the glitz and like going on it. Like, it's so much more than that.
It is so much more than that. I think like that's what I'm like learning. Like, oh, I'm just thinking like, okay, like self-care day, like, okay, go get your nails done, go get like your hair done or whatever. And like that's self-love, but it's really not like so I think like
external.
It's a piece of it, but you can get all that done and still hate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Still be sad, still be
sick. Like, you gotta pick, like, you got a self-care day, but like how do you stick to that feeling? You know what I'm saying? Like,
make it continuous.
My highest moments, like I said, like going on a trip, vacation, that's self-love to me, and I experienced my highest moments during that time. Or even like planning my wedding, or you know what I'm saying, when you're pregnant and getting all this care and love from people. But when those moments are over, like like that you get this weird feeling, like it's like a dark feeling. Like I remember you posted
Mm.
something Leslie, about that moment after Frizz Fest, like you had this high going or whatever, and then like that's how I feel sometimes. And like I'll say one of my moments where I realized that I wasn't showing myself as much self-love is like I was like in Jamaica, like I don't remember that, it seemed like such a long time ago, but I was in Jamaica and like I felt like I looked my best, you know what I'm saying? But I still had moments of not being happy with myself, like looking at myself and not being completely satisfied. And like I was just having a moment to myself for like, damn, I have these moments no matter what size I am, where I'm at, where I'm just like not completely satisfied with myself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or like doing like sacrificing things or taking away things from myself. And I'm just like, I want to do what I want. I want to eat what I want. I want to go where I want. I want to drink what I want and not worry about what's happening with me. You know what I mean? Like that's when I'm happy.
Yeah, and then I think that's why I say like it's about showing yourself grace too, because I did post, I know the exact feeling because I did post something like after free, like damn, like you on this high and it's like gone, it's like extreme low, but then that's where it come like in that we just killed that shit. I deserve to be rest. Like I deserve to not do shit. Like, yes, I was on a high, let that high continue on, and now I got time to chill the fuck out for a minute. Like,
And take in that moment.
shit, like it's gonna be high and low, and I don't think anybody's like, well, I don't know, maybe months or something like that, where you always on like I don't even think that's a good for you to be on an extreme high all the fucking time. Like that's not realistic. So like when the moments of low, like you feel good and you got a moment like, damn, my belly poking out. Okay, that happened. You got that feeling, let that shit go. And in the next 10 minutes, you feel good as fuck again. Like I think it just like comes in waves. And I think that's okay. And we don't have to get so down on ourselves in those like we had a low moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a question for you guys. Self-love to me is also mental. Me personally, I can be in my head about just crazy shit, like just making up the whole scenario. And when I have to like to ask myself, like, Tracy, what are the facts? And what are you making up right now? Like, what are the facts of this situation? And I try to act off of that. So I say that to say, how do you silence and or redirect those negative intrusive thoughts that come in?
Man, that's a good one. I literally, when I tell you I was in my car today driving home and I just started crying because the way my brain works, it could be the smallest thing, especially with my kids. Like my son was sick all last week. Like literally, he had a fever like my thermometer said 106. Okay. And that's the scariest shit I ever seen. And like for me, in those moments, I just be like mentally messed up, like making up all type of things, like it's something in his lungs or like Skylar having neck pain right now. My mind went to a crazy space because I always worry. And like I just had to take a moment and say, okay, I don't know what the future holds, but I had to sit in this moment. Right now, my kids is smiling, they happy. My son is not sick no more. Yes, Skylar having neck pain, but it could easily be from the baby kicking her in her sleep or something. I don't have to go to the worst thing. So like in that moment, I checked myself and like I made a call to my mom and I was just telling her what was going on, crying. And she was like, girl, like this is what's going on right now. Settle down. You don't have to go so far left and make up shit, which I do often. And that's when I went on my hour-long walk and listened to some music and got amped up about what I was listening to. So just like in those moments, silencing it, seeing what's going on right in this moment, not thinking about what's about to happen. Because even though I may have those thoughts again tomorrow, just in that moment, realizing, okay, this is what is going on now. Now let me go for a walk because I know I love nature and it's going to energize me.
Yes, I love it. Yes. Okay, I'll go. So, well, first, when I get those thoughts, I have to tune into them, like, and make myself aware that it's not true, that it's not facts. So, when things start to intrude me, I will either try to silence it and store it away, to deal with later, or I have to do a little self-analyzation on it and bring myself down, not down, but to the real world, to figure it out. also that's when you have to amp yourself up too. You know, like if those negative thoughts are, if you out and you wondering if your stomach's sticking out or if you got a roll showing or is your hair messed up, whatever, you just have to silence all of that and just tell yourself, you the shit, you're okay, you're good, you know, and go check yourself in the mirror if you need to, you know. But yeah, it's a battle. It's a battle with yourself and it's gonna be constant. So finding those tools to get those things together are essential.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think too, like, Leslie, I'm mute.
You. She's going through something over there, honey.
I'm hearing like it was falling out the outlet, so I had to go like plug it back up. But anyway, so I'm just gonna say this real quick for my good sis Glorilla. Every day the sun ain't gonna shine. That's why I love tomorrows.
Mm.
Good days, bad days, shit. I might be having a bad day and I ain't gonna feel bad about myself until I wake up the next morning.
Yeah.
Sleep on it a day or two or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can't always take it out. You can't always fix it yourself. You just have to trust that time will do its thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like India too. Like I overthink everything. Her and I will be going down whole like rabbit holes on the phone and just overthinking and doing the most. And I think you said something, Tracy, that I'm starting to do is like figure out if it's like facts first before you like legit go down a whole rabbit hole for nothing, like, or like confirm what you're thinking or feeling like with somebody else instead of like assuming. I think that's like my big thing is that like I assume shit and then it just like unravels and then I'm like overthinking, I'm like making up situations that like haven't even happened. So I think like just like taking a second to like breathe too. Like when you get into that moment to where you like start thinking about all this shit, just like calm down because it's like really not that serious. Like I'm starting
I'm a
to
big
realize
fan of like sleep on it. Like let me just sleep on it, make sure I'm saying the right response.
that.
I'm more than likely I might feel better tomorrow. Like just like, and then also just do sleep on it so you can communicate like in the best. If it involves like another person or you know in a situation like. So you can communicate like the most like effective way. That's one thing I've learned as an adult. Like communication is like top, like
Mm-hmm.
one of the most important things when it comes to a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that also with dealing with my son because he is like the little me. Like he gets so overwhelmed and just be going nuts over the smallest shit. And so I've started like just like hugging him hella tight where he can't move and I just be like breathe. And we both be like he be the cutest shit.
So sweet.
So, like I was practicing with him because I feel like during my pregnancy with him, I was so anxious and like overthinking and stuff. Like I honestly think he has all those traits. It's crazy. Like the smallest shit, he'd be like losing it. So like I just try to like practice with him. So like we both can, you know what I mean? So I can reflect those things onto my kids because I don't want to be all crazy and having all these issues and put that on my kids too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So I have another question. This actually might be somebody else's question, but I love it and I don't like mine anymore. But I want to know, has it been difficult? Has it been difficult to set boundaries with friends and family to ensure your peace? What question was that? I love it.
Tracy's.
That's a good one, Tracy. I'm sorry.
Girl, take it. It's there for you to use, okay?
So weak.
Glad you said something without just saying it like it's yours. Like
Just take that shit.
That is a good one because I've been listening to a lot of podcasts too, or whatever. And like some people feel like you gotta have certain people in your life. Like when it comes to family, like these people have to be in life. So what you gotta do? And for me, I just feel like no, they don't. Like, yes, some people are your blood, or they may not be. They just may be somebody who is constantly there. But like if somebody is not empowering you or you feel like anxious or crazy around them all the time, like you do not have to have them in your life, family or friends or whatever the case. If you don't feel good around them, like you have to monitor how you feel around these people. Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling jumpy? Shit, like what is going on with you when you're around this person? And if it don't feel good, you gotta distance yourself. No matter, you don't have to force yourself to be around people that don't make you feel good, family or not. So for me, like I have chosen, especially over the last 3 years, just working on no matter who it is, it could be my mama. If she like giving me too much negative energy, when she like sending me a bunch of shit about the news, I will literally just not respond to her. Or if she bring it up on the phone, I'll redirect that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, just making sure the people who are around me not affecting my day, especially when it's early in the morning. Like, don't send me a news story early in the morning that like completely changes my whole route of my day. You know what I'm saying? Or if somebody is constantly on go with negativity, like family or not, bye, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, distance yourself, don't be around them.
Right.
That's something I'm practicing. It's hard, but I'm trying my hardest to just keep my peace in line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Tracy? Oh, I agree. It was. But I think I'm learning too that like just because like you're keeping your distance or whatever, like that doesn't mean like you love that person any less or like you care about that person any less. I think that's like been a big thing that I've like started learning is just like everybody is like meant to be in your life or in your corner for like certain things. And like if one person is not in your life for one thing, it doesn't mean that that's like any different or the love is lost or anything like that. So I think at first it was difficult, but now I'm just learning like it's okay. Like it doesn't have to be like every single person, like I don't know, like in your, because I feel like it could be a lot too, it could be overwhelming, like having like so many different like people saying shit, like giving you advice, all that other stuff. So for me, I think it's good to have distance if you need it. And it doesn't change how you feel about that person. Huh?
I love you for saying that, because me and you talk about that all the time. Like
Mm-mm.
everybody, it could be your best friends, family members. Everybody serves a purpose in your life, and they're not going to show up for you the way you want them to. They're gonna show up for you the way that they know how.
Yeah.
And like,
Or
Available to.
or that they have the capacity to, because I don't want to throw that in there too. Like it ain't always, if somebody distancing themselves from you, it's not always you. It's like that. Like sometimes like I'm like, I don't want to talk. I'm just tired. I need a break. And then I don't want to get on the phone and talk to you because a topic might come up that I ain't ready to talk about right now. Like, I don't want to like, I ain't ready to like discuss like what I'm going through, or like I'm trying to figure shit out for myself too. So a lot of that shit too can just be like what the other person is got their own shit going on. And that's why they distancing themselves.
It boils down to protecting your peace. Like with me, when I first started consciously setting boundaries, it was a little hard, you know, you probably overthinking it, but you just have to listen to the energy, listen to yourself and how certain people or situations make you feel, and set that boundary. Like every time your phone ring, you are not obligated to answer. You know, when a text comes through, you're not obligated to respond right away. Sometimes you need time to think about it. Hell, sometimes you might work, whatever the case may be, but you know, you are allowed to take that time for yourself and set those boundaries as you
when
need.
you don't respond to them texts, baby.
You said,
honey,
what?
People be mad when you don't respond
Oh,
to
yeah.
texts.
okay.
I mean, people take it so personally, which I get. I've been there. I get it. Oh, hold up, y'all. Public service announcement. So this new iPhone update, it makes sense, y'all. Wait. The new iPhone update, you can now pin messages that you looked at but haven't read yet. So keep that in mind.
Oh, that's good.
The Android
I
has that.
will look at a text and I might, if it's a day where I'm getting a lot of texts, I will look at it, or I'm busy and
You forget because it doesn't say the little dot isn't there anymore. But anyway, back on topic.
A lot of times you just don't respond because you don't want to, because I know that there's certain messages in my phone that I literally have not answered, but it's some that are in front of it and behind it that I have. So maybe
you know what? I'm hollering.
Girl.
I wanted to talk about a situation where I recently I had to set a boundary, and it was like I had to get over the fact that it was awkward for me to set the boundary more than like what was more important, the awkwardness of me setting it or like me feeling uncomfortable. Like, so basically the situation, this guy or whatever who, you know, I have a professional relationship with or whatever. And it was just like too many, like, you know, when somebody like
Trying to wheel
and today, like, I had to say something. Like, I would just want to be clear, this strictly platonic, professional. It's nothing more than that. And I don't, want to be put in an uncomfortable situation. And it was like, took me like, actually, I should have been said it, but it was like, that's such an awkward like thing to do. But today I'm like, fuck it, I'm grown as fuck. I should always feel comfortable. Like, and anything that I have to say should be respected. Yeah. I feel like a boss bitch. Like, hey.
You better tell.
And I know you felt good. I know you felt good after you did that because it's hard to
now I don't have to worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now I don't have to worry about it, or hopefully not. Like now I don't have to worry about it anymore because, or if I do, if it happens again, then it's like, all right, bye. Like,
I will say this too, like, I feel like I'm still working through upbringing teachings. Like when you're told basically, to respect your elders, to do what you're supposed to do, to answer calls, to just do all these things. When I'm learning, I can retract and set my own rules. I'm deviating from my upbringing rules and making them for my own. So that has been a challenge in my life, honestly.
I like to fall back on that one, Tracy, when you're done.
Yeah, just basically rewiring your thinking, especially at this age. It's like, okay, I'm grown as fuck. I ain't gotta do what you say,
Period.
I agree.
I mean, never mind.
Okay, my follow-up to that though is one of my questions is like with like your emotions and like self-awareness. Like, do you feel like y'all was brought up to like express your emotions? Because like I feel like a lot of times it's like, don't talk about what happened at home, or like, like what happens at home stays at home, or like, like just how it is like growing up. I feel like we weren't really taught to like really express our emotions. And I feel like as an adult, it has like, I know it's affected me, not being able to express my emotions, but do you feel like it's affected y'all from growing up?
I'll say I will say I was brought up in several environments where it was like, what happens here stays here, period. You know what I mean? But I have always like been the black sheep in that sense because I've never been the one to follow rules. Like, you tell me not to do something, I know you telling me something wrong, period. So like since a kid, I have always been the one like, don't tell India. You know what I mean? Because I'm very loud and outspoken. Like I've always been the type of person that's going to speak out. And still to this day, like I was literally just having a conversation with my family yesterday where it was just like, please don't tell me stuff. Like if it hurts somebody else, like I'm going to share it, especially if it's somebody I love.
Yeah.
If it's a secret about them, like don't even tell me because I'm going to share it if it affects them negatively, period. Like I've always been that type of person, but I would say I was brought up where it was like, okay, what happens here stays here. And like I still deal with that today, like dealing with elders and like people feeling like I shouldn't be doing certain things because this person was like this when I was younger or this and I'm just like, I do believe in giving grace because everybody makes mistakes, but I have to learn things on my own. And I'm also going to speak out and let you know how I feel and what I'm going to do. Like you can't control me. You never have been able to.
Okay, bitch.
I don't really got that many elders. I mean, I don't have elders. So I don't know. Like that's a weird. I don't really even think I can answer that question because I don't know if I've like. There's nobody even setting boundaries with elders or anything like that. I just don't. That's just not my situation. But I think like as a child, I don't know. My mom was so like sensitive and expressive and stuff like that. So I never. I think I probably took more of my dad's because he was like really private, like no emotion, like affection. So I was like kind of like in the limbo from two extreme opposites. So I never felt like I couldn't express my feelings, but it was times where I felt uncomfortable, just me as myself. But like I remember like telling my mom like one time in like fucking preschool, or I don't know, maybe it was summer camp. This like boy like touched my private parts, and I had no problem going home and tell my mama. Like I know nothing like not no kind of like nervous about it or nothing. I just always like remember that. So Yeah,
But
I
as
don't
an
know.
adult, do you feel like expressing your emotions is like an easy thing or a hard thing? And do you feel like you're actually like in tune with your emotions?
I used to be very private, but I feel like I've completely like almost like done a 180 and that just because too, but I think that comes from not having elders, like not having mom, aunt, you know what I'm saying, like that. So I like in situations like fuck, like I need to like talk to somebody, cry, hug, or something like that. So having like friends, like just it's just something that came about because I needed it. Like so, like I think I'm very more open with like my feelings and emotions with like my friends and like in romantic relationships, maybe too much, like too emotional with my like partner that it can be overwhelming. So I can like I can like admit that about, you know, how I have been in like certain situations or whatever like that. Because and I this can go deeper. We can talk about that deeper. But I think like in romantic relationship or like I could talk about most recent whatever, but I could be like more open and vulnerable with them because like it's just more of a like wanting like hold me, hug. I was more so like reaching for
Intimacy.
that attention. Like I was more so like reaching for it or like finding any way to get it. You know what I'm saying? So but anyway, so yes, I feel like now I'm much better at like expressing my emotions, but also like taking time to think about them before, you know, I express them. And I think that's why it's good to have like mature friendships and relationships. So you can't have like when y'all was talking about like things creeping in, like what's real, what's not, like to be able to like openly talk to somebody about certain things so they can kind of like help you navigate like shit like that.
Definitely. See, I always thought that I know I'm like a sensitive person, I'm emotional. So I already thought like, okay, I know, like I have emotional intelligence, but I really don't. Like, I think like the things that I've like have been learning is like why like I am emotional, like why does something like trigger you or like where that emotion like comes from. So I think like learning that now I'm able to like communicate why something would bother me instead of like before I feel like I just kind of like reacted or I would just like shut down and not say anything. But now I like know, okay, like I felt uncomfortable because of this and this is why I'm like acting that way or being able to just talk about it more because I think before I was like yeah just acting up either mad or just like closed off.
Yeah, I felt like as a kid, I was able to express my emotions with those whom I felt safe with. Those who I didn't, I don't understand that feeling in me, but I knew it was guarding me. So I didn't, open up to certain people. However, when I did need to open up my emotions, like my mother was there for me to listen and she was emotional and just provided me a safe space, to be able to talk. And I think that helps give me my foundation of being open, but traumas in life made me closed off too, like I would say this in my marriage, a lot of that, like, normal things that girlfriends talk about their guys, whatnot. I rarely did that, which probably a good thing and not a bad thing, but I should have probably talked to people more. But I say that because, I've had a situation where I've told something very confidential to someone and it was spread around. And that is a feeling that I motherfucking hate. I hate knowing that I've been talked about. It's something I'm working on. You can't control what nobody else do. So if they do that, I try not to let it change me. I try to learn from it. But things like that, traumas like that can cause you to retract, your vulnerability. But I am really thankful to have had a family that was welcoming to emotions, even when I didn't understand them. When I was a teenager, I was batshit, filled with anger. I had reason. I didn't understand it, but I had reason. But thank you, Mama, for your patience.
Okay, do you believe you need to be at your best self / fully love yourself before you can properly love someone else?
Child, we could go on for days about this one. Okay. I literally just was having a conversation debate last week about this. So I had a friend that sent a video She like follows this like self-care guru guy or whatever, and he basically made a YouTube video about green flags to look for in relationships. And he was saying like that he didn't agree with people needed to be two whole people to come together to be in relationships. So I was telling her, I was like, I agree with that, because the guy, he basically was like, find somebody who has like put in the work on themselves and are like on similar journeys with you and grow with that person. So like I was telling her, I was like, I definitely don't feel like, I hate when people say like you have to be whole to be with somebody, because I feel like who you are right now might be completely different than who you are hell in a month, in a year. And like, God forbid I met my husband tomorrow. If I'm not whole, does that mean that I can't be with somebody? Like, I just hate the whole like you have to be this whole person to like date. I feel like you definitely should be like sure of yourself, and there are certain things that you should want out of your spouse, but I don't necessarily think that you need to be a whole person. I just don't think that that's even realistic.
I
I
feel
was
like,
sorry.
I'm sorry. I feel like being aware with your best self-love to yourself is going to be a constant chase. You know,
Yes.
that's like
Yes.
perfection, in my opinion. So I think you should be at a place where you are fully aware of your self-love and that you are on that journey, at least be on that journey, you know, and have certain amounts of growth. And then, yeah, you can give that love. And then with that person, they could help you give that love, you know, but being whole, you should know yourself. You shouldn't be looking for somebody to fill that void, but you should be on that path and find somebody else who's also on that path. You know, you don't want to get with someone who's self-destructive.
Yeah.
Okay. I like what you said, Trey, because me and Keisha was talking about this, and the person we're bringing on next week is going to be good for this conversation too. But I agree with that. I feel like, I mean, I've been with my spouse forever, and like I'm never whole. Like I'm constantly evolving. I don't think you should be so off track where you don't even give up, you know, you don't care about what's going on with yourself. Like Tracy said, you constantly evolving, you trying, you seeking, you know, you doing things to grow. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in my relationship, that's what it's been. Like for the past 12 years, we constantly doing things to grow. We have kids. That's a new, you know what I mean? You never whole. That's what I feel like. I feel like to the day you die, you're not whole. You steady growing and figuring things out. So I don't feel like two people need to be whole to come together. I feel like you need to be on the same path, and you know what I mean, just have a positive outlook overall.
Yeah, and it's like certain things that you like, obviously, like it's not like you're gonna date somebody who like isn't aligned with like what you want. Like, I mean, there's certain things that I would want my person to have, but like whole to me means like perfect. Like, and I don't know. I don't feel like nobody's perfect.
First of all, where y'all get whole from? Y'all done took the word whole. That was not in my
Guys, we literally was talking about this last week, bitch. I am so passionate about whole, bitch. Okay.
That's turned into whole and her turned to perfect.
damn word. I'm tired of hearing that.
I hate the word whole. Okay.
That was a trickle. That whole trickled down.
I'm like, damn, where did this come from? Anyway, let me tell. I think it's a crock of bullshit. I think it's another term, another idea that one person fucking said in the social media world, and people run with it. Like I just like we gonna have to have a whole other discussion about just like social media and how it has warped us. Okay,
they don't call it influence for no reason. Sorry.
Period. But anyway, I think that's bullshit. I think that doesn't even make sense. Like, especially if you are in your younger adult life, being in a relationship and get married, a lot of times you don't even really fuck. Sometimes you don't even know who you are. Yes, don't be with somebody who is like. I think that you need to be understanding of what it takes, like to be partnered with somebody, and you need to be understanding what it takes, that things need to adapt, changes need to be made, considerations need to happen, and work needs to be done. And that you need to go in knowing that you're not perfect. Like you
Yeah.
aren't fully who you know what I'm saying? Especially if you like trying to share that with somebody else, because you have to change certain things for somebody else. You just have to, in a relationship, like shit has to whatever. So I think you need more so going in thinking like I'm the best. I'm complete. I'm myself. I'm putting in all the work. No, like you can never like put in all the work. Like you continuously grow, you continuously change. I think that's bullshit. But I do think that, like I said, yeah, it should be the two people should be very aware of what needs to happen so that you both can be your best self separately and together.
Definitely.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna end it there. That was a perfect way to end our first episode back. All right. So yeah, thanks for tuning in.